said Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia give a dialysis patient's home a makeover. We learn how Tzu Chi grade level preschool teacher Liu Lianqiu helps her students change for the better. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. The Tzu Chi Philippines chapter regularly conduct eye clinics for the less fortunate, giving those without the means to pay for an eye exam an opportunity to see properly once more. Outside the Tzu Chi Eye Clinic in the Philippines, people have lined up to get their eye problems looked at.
I was babysitting when the baby's hammock snapped. I tried to tie it back, but the string flew and hit my eye.
Right now, everything I see is blurred.
Umpisa nito, medyo lumalabo lang. In
2000, my vision became blurry. Then in 2014, I suffered a stroke and lost vision in my left eye.
Wala nang paningin. Talagang hindi na makita. Tapos yung puti, lumaki na.
Though each patient is suffering from a different eye problem, their condition is thoroughly checked out by an experienced doctor during the free clinic.
I'm very glad for the free clinic, as it helps the poor like me, who don't have the money to go see a doctor. It means a lot to us because without this service, many of these patients would have just let their condition deteriorate without knowing that options were available. Now, however, we know there are treatment options out there for us.
Having gained a full diagnosis of their eye condition, these patients look forward to getting their problems fixed in the near future. Abdul Haji is a dialysis patient who lives in Malacca, Malaysia. Having been a dialysis patient for the past 5 years, Haji is now switching to peritoneal dialysis at home as he was unable to continue with his previous form of treatment. His room, however, was not suitable for the new dialysis treatment, so he called on Tzu Chi to help. Knowing the importance of having Haji keep up his dialysis, the volunteers immediately sprung to action. Let's take a look. Bringing with them a new mattress, desk, and bed frame, the volunteers from Malacca are moving new furniture into dialysis patient Abdul Haji's home.
Both of my fistula are damaged.
Because of his dialysis treatments over the past 5 years, Haji suffered extensive damage to his arteriovenous fistula, so now he must switch to peritoneal dialysis at home. But his room is not up to the sanitation standards for the process.
The nurses came to check and found the room unsuitable. They said we need to cover the floor with a mat and wipe it down every day. There must be a bed and a table as well.
Knowing how important it was for him to continue his dialysis treatment, the volunteers immediately took action to help.
The patient came to us with this situation. We couldn't delay our response, so we took emergency action to help.
Removing the carpet and sweeping away the dust on the floor, volunteers clean every nook and cranny of the room to prevent Haji from getting an infection.
I hope he can have a good environment to live in and do his dialysis. We hope he can get well soon.
The room looks bigger and brighter.
With the volunteers' immediate assistance, Haji is grateful that he finally has a room in which he can both rest and undergo his dialysis treatments.
Thank you.
Now let's turn our attention to central Taiwan, where a 75-year-old grandmother, Yang Yinglan, has to take care of her physically challenged and bedridden son on a daily basis. Apart from her dedication to her son, she also sees time to participate in the community service. Taking care of her bedridden son's needs has become a part of 75-year-old Yang Yinglan's daily routine. Suffering from diabetes, Young's eldest son also needs to undergo dialysis regularly. Left immobile by a stroke and now blind, he is confined to his bed all day long. Through patting, Young is helping improve her son's blood circulation and thereby preventing bed sores. Despite her hardship, Yang tells herself to stay optimistic. Whenever she can, she volunteers by keeping lawbreakers serving community service company. To Yang, this is a break from her routine while she gains happiness through serving. In the eyes of her neighbors, Yang is a selfless and remarkable mother.
Her son is big and can't control his bowel movements. To be honest, having to take care of him at her age is not easy at all. But no one can do it for her. That's the love of a mother for you.
Just like that, Yang Inlan has set an example for the whole community.
Young volunteers of Jingsi Books and Cafes in Yunlin and Jiayi counties have come together to put on a sutra adaptation. While some of their parents were once reluctant to let their children participate in Tzu Chi activities, they have changed their mind after seeing how their children have changed for the better afterwards.
Young volunteers of Jingsi Books and Cafe in Yunlin and Jiayi, the youngest being only 3 years old, worked together to put on a performance of sutra adaptation. Despite being young in age, these young volunteers study hard to learn the sutra verses that they did not understand.
My eldest son asked me what the lyrics mean. Then I seized this chance to discuss the lyrics with him so he can better understand Tzu Chi's principles.
Through performing, the children learn to fulfill their filial duties and do good deeds, which deeply moved their parents.
My children were at first reluctant to let my grandchild participate, but after seeing how my grandchild has become more obedient, they're no longer opposed to participating in Tzu Chi activities.
In spite of their young age, the children have taken the Dharma teachings to heart and taken their first step on the path of love.
Before the summer began, students of National University of Kaohsiung held a second-hand clothes drive to help the less fortunate in Paraguay. Next to me, National University of Kaohsiung alumna Li Meirong, a Paraguayan and the person behind this charitable cause.
Hi everyone! Right now we're going to visit an indigenous community.
Driving a car through this desolate field is Li Meirong, who is visiting Arroyo Bandera, an indigenous community in Paraguay. Boxes of second-hand clothes are gifts that local residents have been looking forward to receiving. Finally, with these second-hand clothes in hand, the some 40 impoverished families living in this area won't have to worry about not having enough clothes for a while.
Everyone in the village is so happy to be able to receive such wonderful gifts. Thank you all so much.
Capturing this special moment with the camera is Paraguayan Li Meirong, who used to study in Taiwan. To ensure the needy back home have enough clothes to stay warm, Li held a second-hand clothes drive before heading back to Paraguay. To Li's surprise, the clothes drive was a success and has continued even though Li has graduated from the school.
At first, I just thought it was a small-scale second-hand clothes drive, but with the help of social media, the news of the event quickly spread. Later, we received clothes from various places, such as Taipei and Tainan. The event received a lot of attention and turned out to be a success.
Although the distance between Taiwan and Paraguay is more than 10,000 miles, the second-hand clothes, embedded with the love and warmth of the Taiwanese people and the shipment company, still ended up in the hands of the less fortunate. Next to me, a family of 5 from the indigenous Bunong tribe residing in Nantou Xingyi Township. The Chen family has 3 children, all of whom have received this New Shoe Scholarship Award. 11 years ago, Mr. Chen was involved in an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. His wife was left to take on the whole family's financial responsibility, with the youngest at the time being just 3 years old. Despite many obstacles on their way, the family has remained upbeat and continues to look on the bright side of life.
It seems every member of this family was born with a music gene. Turning their living room into a stage, the family is ready to perform at any time.
I love being here, and my greatest motivation is here as well. With my children's dedication to music, I gain power and have a lot of ideas.
A member of a band in his youth, Mr. Chuan has retained his rock and roll vibe, despite being paralyzed from the waist down in an accident 11 years ago. Inheriting the music gene from their father, the children formed their own band and even received a hand-signed guitar from the singer Jay Chao.
I was very nervous, but happy that I could perform in front of Jay Chao. I want to be just like him.
The eldest daughter is in high school in Taipei, but whenever she is home, she happily takes on household chores. While the son is currently in the 9th grade and hopes to pass the entrance test for a high school closer to home.
This way I can come back and take care of my father. Whatever he asks me to do, I gladly carry it out.
The walls of the Chen house are filled with drawings and encouragement from the children.
The family is strongly united. No matter what happens to them, their hearts are close together and they help each other through the good and bad.
Tzu Chi volunteers love and care for this family dates from when their youngest was 3 and has continued for a decade now.
They're just like family.
Every time the sisters come visit me, they leave me feeling quite moved and spirited about life. I will think about how I can change to make life better.
Optimistically facing the challenges that come their way, the Chen family helps to spread love and compassion through their music.
Ahead at Tzu Chi's New Shoe Scholarship Award ceremony in澎湖, Taiwan, today we bring you the story of award winner Xu Mingxuan at Zhuwan Elementary School. Mingxuan lost her father in a boating accident 4 years ago. To commemorate her father and help her mother come to terms with her grief, Mingxuan not only practices being a filial daughter, but also works diligently at her studies, making her winner at Tzu Chi's New Shoe Scholarship Award for the 3rd year in a row.
Out on the badminton court, she is a force to be reckoned with.
用一脚撑着地，身体倾斜着，朝屋里大声丢下这句话。
Reciting with confidence and conviction in front of her peers, this is Xu Mingxuan, 6th grader of澎湖Zhuwan Elementary.
This is the end of my recital. Thank you, everybody.
We never have to worry about her grades. She is extremely bright and excels academically.
Beneath that cheerful and spirited front, Mingxuan is still in fact coming to terms with the loss of her father. In March of 2011, while her father was out at sea, he fell overboard and lost his life.
Whenever I think of my dad, I tell myself that he has just gone to work and he will be home soon.
4 years later, memories of her father still live fresh in Mingxuan's mind.
We used to go to work with my dad on the weekends, and I remember we would watch him operate the crane. Yes, but I try to be a good daughter to my mother. That way, she won't miss my dad so much.
Helping her mother overcome her grief, Mingxuan is not only a filial daughter at home, but also a diligent and hardworking student at school, often top of her class. She has been awarded countless certificates over the years for her outstanding performance.
1、2、3、4，有几张是全县跟全国的。23、24、25、26、27、28、29。
Mingxuan's thoughtfulness and maturity bring her mother great comfort.
When I finished bathing in the evening, Mingxuan always comes to massage my hands, my back, and my legs. It's my favorite part of the day.
Recognized for her filial piety and outstanding academic performance, Mingxuan has once again been selected as a winner of Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship Award.
I have been awarded Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship 3 years in a row. The financial support has helped us greatly. I am truly thankful to the Tzu Chi volunteers for assisting our family. I promise to help more people in need in the future.
比我们更需要帮助的人。
We go to Singapore in our next report and meet a teacher at Tzu Chi Grade Level Preschool, Liu Lianqiu, who has almost 2 decades of teaching experience behind her. Having fully grasped each student's strengths and weaknesses, Liu believes that encouragement and praise for a job well done is the key to bringing out the best in her students.
以涵，你在房产做的以涵，好吗？彻底贴，很棒嘞！再来，加油！
After getting to know each child's strengths and weaknesses, Liu Lianqiu, who teaches the 3-year-olds, encourages good behavior with praise.
对，很棒，跳慢慢跳
All children have their own strengths and weaknesses. If we only focus on a student's shortcomings, other children may not want to befriend him or her because of that. If they're acknowledged for good behavior, however, other children will naturally be friends with them. I think it's a very effective teaching method.
Liu Lianqiu joined Tzu Chi Grade Level Preschool when it opened in April last year. Although she has nearly 2 decades of teaching experience behind her, she still puts in a lot of thought and effort into planning suitable teaching material for her class.
他把玩具收好。哇！天是棒吗？
When Tiansi first came to the preschool, he didn't really know how to interact with other children, although he's actually a very active boy. Miss Liu's method has really helped Tiansi come out of his shell. She chose him as the class captain, which really helped to develop his confidence. I'm really glad that we made the right choice bringing our son here.
She's an incredible teacher. She has a lot of patience with children. He placed a lot of emphasis on character development and moral education here. It can get quite challenging at times because the younger ones don't always understand the principles. But I feel that if we can set a good example for our students, they will be able to learn and grow. Although Liu has to put more time and effort into teaching these 3-year-olds, she says seeing how they've matured and grown throughout the months is her greatest reward. I am comforted to see how far they've come. Seeing how independent they've become, that's all that matters.
We have introduced handicap artist李道源to you in the past, who specialized in creating extremely detailed drawings with needlepoint pens. As he developed hymengioma 35 years ago, Li's limbs atrophied and he even had to amputate his left arm. Recently, he has begun to lose the use of his right arm and thus is undergoing an examination at the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital to find out why.
Taking a step forward takes a long time. Raising my feet is hard as well. I did ache all over.
Artist Li Daoyuan has come to the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital to undergo a MRI scan. While speaking to him about his condition, Dr. Liu Lianqiu noticed that Li's legs would shake involuntarily.
The signal sent from your brain should have traveled down your spine and controlled the movements of your legs. But when your brain's uncontrolling your legs, then you can't control the shake.
Due to hemangioma, Li's limbs began to atrophy 35 years ago, and he would eventually have to amputate his left arm. But now he's also beginning to lose the use of his only working limb.
I think the root of his condition lies in his spine, perhaps something to do with blood vessels. Maybe gaining the ability to use his legs would be too much of a challenge, but at least we will know what's causing his right arm to lose strength, and therefore prevent it. Yes, I do hope there's a chance. I do hope there's a miracle.
Though a bit nervous, Li undergoes the examination with the hopes that he may retain the use of his right hand, so that he may continue to draw and give colors to his life.
Continuing his stay in Taiwan, Dr. Nadu Shakya from Nepal visited Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital and joined its medical team during their recent medical outreach mission to the mountainous regions. Here's more.
With singing, Tzu Chi volunteers welcomed Nepalese doctor, Dr. Nadu Shakya, upon his arrival at Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital. The hospital staff then briefed Dr. Shakya on the hospital. The hospital superintendent, Dr. Pan Yongqian, also welcomed Dr. Shakia, a friend with whom he worked in Nepal's post-quake relief effort. The hospital staff conduct IDS medical outreach in the mountainous areas on Tuesdays, and Dr. Shakia went along with them to Li Dao Public Health Center.
This could not be done in Nepal, especially in remote areas. Their road systems are not as well developed, and they would have to carry the medicine and walk for several days to reach the remote areas.
During their trip, the medical team also witnessed landslides and marveled at the changes brought by Mother Nature.
I haven't seen it very like this. Even in Nepal, there are lots of landslides and earthquake, but this is the first time that I'm seeing very live, and I'm feeling like this is a Mother Earth's power that we are just helpless. We cannot do anything.
Having witnessed the spirit of Tzu Chi's humanistic medicine, Dr. Shakia can soon take the knowledge back home to serve the sick and needy in Nepal.
Many corporations take initiatives to promote positive social and environmental changes, enriching the minds of their employees during the process. With just such an effort, the real estate company Summer Weekend in Indonesia arranged for its employees to get to know the humanistic principles of Tzu Chi with tours at the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, DaAi Village, and Tzu Chi schools.
The renowned Indonesian real estate company, Samaricom, has arranged for its 145 employees to tour the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter, DaAi Village, and Tzu Chi schools.
After today's tour, I came to realize Tzu Chi has done a lot for Indonesia. Tzu Chi's principles, such as helping other people with love, are great.
Most of these employees are Muslim and fresh graduates. They took notes while Tzu Chi volunteers introduced Tzu Chi's humanistic principles and worldviews.
I would like to participate in charity work and help disadvantaged people. My views have been broadened now.
This is a life-changing experience. I hope they will reflect on themselves after being inspired here and help those around them.
Having taken the step to learn of humanistic values, Samarican hopes to enrich its employees' minds to generate a positive force in society.
To celebrate National Seniors Day, the National Council of Social Service of Singapore invited Tzu Chi to hold an event on behalf of elderly care recipients. During the event, Tzu Chi volunteers encouraged seniors to express their thanks to kind-hearted people and their family members by writing down their gratitude in cards. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.